scientists somewhere in some lab, I know it's very specific, actually paused light.
Completely paused light.
Yep, completely paused it.
For how long?
3.5 minutes.
Wow.
That's a significant
That's a lot of energy.
It's kind of cool. They do it, obviously, it's a bunch of coldness, but they did it.
I love how we started off incredibly scientific and then we
super specific. And then it's like, they did this awesome thing. Here's how they did it in those specific terms possible.
But I don't remember. I didn't memorize the article, but it involves essentially
flashlight in the freezer.
Got it.
Boom! Fire! Got it! We're done!
Let's do this! No. So, basically, it's the theory of like a two-way mirror where you can see through it. And they take a high-intensity laser beam and shoot it into a crystal.
Laser.
Yes, laser. From a shark. They shoot it into this crystal, and then they polarize it on both sides. So the light literally stuck inside the crystal.
Whoa.
And they do it so cold that all the photons are slowed down regardless. So they literally are bouncing from side to side before they can dissipate their energy. So it takes 3.5 minutes for that trapped light to dissipate. Wow. It is the most information that we have garnered on light in the last 500 years. Like,
that's honestly kind of incredible.
It's pretty cool.
Well, but I mean, it's still considered, the photons, they're particles, not matter still, right? No general breakthroughs like that.
No, one of the weird things was there were, because light actually operates on particles and wave, which is confusing to begin with.
So this is just a test run, isn't it? Right. That way we can see how we sound and all that.
I don't know. I was just.
But you can contribute a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
The whole experience.
I'm so stupid. It hurts.
If you want more information on it, because obviously I can't be real specific, Google it because it was a pretty interesting freaking read that they could do that.
I'm very curious about this now.
It's the dude who used to head up Jefferson's particle accelerator lab. Is the guy who's responsible for it.
This podcast, like my education, sponsored by Wikipedia.
Exactly. That is my favorite shirt that I've gotten off of Whoop, is the University of Wikipedia. And then they even go pretty kind of meta into it, where they put the established date of like 1577, and they put citation needed. It's great. It is so Wikipedia. Yeah. I love it so much.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So what are we actually here to talk about?
Clearly.
Nerd stuff, which we've already started talking about.
Boobs?
We should probably introduce ourselves.
We said nerd
since
stuff.
we're just talking.
I don't know. Now that boobs was kind of announced in the conversation.
His name's Boobs now?
Yeah.
You're Boobs.
Congratulations.
You're Boobs, Steve.
Hi, Boobs.
Well, you spoke right after I said it, so I think you're Boobs.
Oh, I'm Boobs? No, I'm Josh. You?
I'm Bracy.
It's Bracy.
I'm Boobs. No, I'm Steve.
And I'm Chris.
Alright. This is a new segment we're doing on Pen, Paper, and Pixels where we talk about nerdy things and news that's happened throughout the week.
Hopefully we talk about those things.
Is a big filler. You shouldn't use
I know. Shut up.
What about hummus? That's
Hummus.
actually very filling.
Ew, it's nasty though.
It is. I'm not a big fan.
read
It does fill you up.
I read something about
Put garlic
on
in it, though.
on Facebook where someone was like, if you vote for hummus, you're a terrorist, but if you vote for hummus, you're throwing a delicious party.
That is about as clever as Facebook gets most days.
It made me so sad. It also made me want hummus.
Apparently, Peter Dinklage is a huge fan of hummus.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he needs it to.
Well, he's a
help him
vegetarian.
grow. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Found
And your
about
parents, look at that. Case in point, your parents tell you eat your vegetables as a little kid. Clearly did not help him.
Did not help
Nope.
Peter Dinklage. Which is just horribly offensive to the very kind man.
Podcast over.
Any chance of popularity we had is completely
before
gone.
it even started, because
just remember,
now you've got Tyrion Lannister on your ass.
Just remember that it was Steve.
The Sentinels are
the
coming
Sentinels
now.
will be outside.
We're not mutants. Don't give a shit. You interfered with my bastard. Okay.
Also, did anyone else find that ironic that Peter Dinklage being a is he a anaplastic dwarf or diaplastic dwarf? Or
I actually don't know.
I'm not 100% certain.
All right, so he's a little person,
Yeah.
but an actor obviously, and he's playing Bolivar Trask in the movie.
Indeed.
Did anyone else find it ironic that being a dwarf, little person, midget, whatever the current
Well, it is a
PC.
mutation.
Right, it's a mutation.
It should have been targeted too.
Right.
And honestly, anyone with a redhead in the movie is also technically.
Or-
mutant.
But if you
Yeah.
think about
and I'm not making a ginger.
they have a
joke, like,
specific
literally.
gene in X-Men, like,
Yeah,
so
they-
that's
They,
what
they,
they were
they
targeting.
do, but
do.
I just thought I thought there was some
Yes.
tongue-in-cheek irony.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
it. And I think it was a very good choice, because I'm sure it was intended after someone goes,
yeah.
wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about that in First Class, where Xavier's going around, at the college bar trying to hit on people and talking about how, everything,
Yeah.
Your 2 different color eyes mutation, your hair color is
Dye-
technically a mutation,
What?
and things like that.
Heterochromia.
There we go.
So,
Heterochromia? Really?
Heterochromia.
yeah, 2 different,
2 colors.
Yeah.
that's
I
right.
don't know, I kept thinking it was dye something.
Well,
I mean, dye
the
means-
Greeks like dye too. They're-
Yes, they did, actually. Effectively.
Yeah.
They're really good.
At least the ancient
Everyone-
Greeks did.
they were the
Everyone who
Americans of
came
their time.
against the Spartans were yes, there was a lot of dye going on. A lot of dye going on. And I am resisting the urge to see how this is Sparta right now. So
thank
you're welcome, Mike.
I was resisting.
This is Sparta! Sorry.
And you ruined it.
Yep.
I was holding back the princess dye jokes. So
Oh god.
That's good.
too soon.
We-
It
we
can't be
need
too
to-
soon.
It's
right?
not. It's not too
We need
soon.
to edit that out, right?
No. All stream of
You
conscience.
can't
is
edit
okay.
this. That's not how this works.
This is live.
This is
Enhance.
Yeah, we're streaming this to Twitch. It's like there's a camera over there. You can't see
Twitch
it.
is #1.
You're beautiful. It's okay.
Audio
Chat.
only
That's why I went in my
streams.
room. Oh, don't miss it.
No
Wait,
video,
you
no
were-
nothing.
You
just,
went in your room earlier because he's beautiful? We should stop right there.
All right.
So this week we have only like 3 games of note coming out, and it's Murdered Soul Suspect on June 6th, Ultra Street Fighter 4 on June 3rd,
Yay.
and WildStar on June 3rd. Does anybody know anything about Murdered Soul Suspect?
You
die, and you're
yeah,
the soul
I don't know if you're. I
suspect.
don't know if you're a cop.
Well, can someone spell soul for me in this case?
S-O-U-L.
Yes.
Right.
MOUSE.
I don't know a lot about it, but yeah. You're a cop or a private detective,
And you get shot, right?
You get shot, and then
You're the soul suspect.
You're a ghost who is now solving your own
yeah.
crime. But I think
Wait, isn't this a movie? Isn't this called
probably
Ghost? And
yes.
doesn't it star?
Was Patrick Swayze a cop in that?
I
I don't know if he was a cop.
He was
but
dead.
He was dead.
He was definitely
So-
dead.
He was definitely dead.
He's dead
and
now
definitely
for real,
investigated
right?
his
Yes.
murder.
So is he making
Wait,
the
Patrick
sequel?
Swayze died.
Yes.
Oh, he did die.
Yeah,
That's
like
right.
like 3 years ago. 2
No,
years
it was
ago.
pretty recently.
It
Yeah.
was 2 or 3 years
ago.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we're
Because for some reason I thought it was Kevin Bacon that died. And then I know that's sacrilege to say Kevin Bacon's dead. I really thought it was him that passed away. Patrick Swayze was still around.
the most delicious actor.
Then I saw
Roadhouse.
Kevin Bacon the other day, and I was like, wow.
Like he just walking down the street. What's up, Bacon? What's up, man? What's up?
We are now one connection away.
I've
Google
never,
will not
I've
lie
never
to me
met him.
anymore.
It was 5 years ago at this point.
How?
What, 5 years ago?
Yeah, Patrick
Are we
Swayze died.
old?
I
Is
am
that what
out of
happened?
date.
It's not that we're old. It's just
Well, you're
that
old.
We don't care about
How old are
dying
you?
people.
25.
25. How old are you?
25?
I'm
Is that a
on
question
version
mark?
It's probably a question mark.
How old are you?
27.
All right.
I'm pretty sure. That's the number I've been going
It
with.
doesn't. I mean, it doesn't.
What's
mean
your birthday? Actually, don't say that because you're on mic, but
you might get
If I'm
presents.
25. 1988. 25.
yeah.
Well, depending on what month you were born
Yeah,
in.
what month
September.
were you born?
Okay, then yeah, you're 25.
Holy crap, I'm older than you.
Woo! Okay.
It happens sometimes. Some people are older than others.
It happens every year.
Yeah.
Well, it used to happen every year. Now it can't happen every year. No longer
The
will
Fire
someone.
Nation invaded.
Right. No longer will someone be born that's older than you.
Just off in that direction.
Now, I know you don't play very many fighting games, but I know me and you were super stoked for Ultra Street Fighter 4, right?
Yeah.
We've been, like, getting back into them. I like 2D fighters. Don't judge me.
I think off of that list, that's the thing I'm most excited for. WildStar could be okay, but I've just fallen
Yeah, you're
off
playing
of
WildStar, right, Steve?
MMOs.
I mean, I haven't. I played the beta. I have resisted the urge to buy it thus far.
I'm gonna wait a couple weeks after it comes out. If it's still alive, then I'm probably gonna buy it.
It's still gonna be alive.
Yeah.
Essentially, if for no other reason than right now, even some of the hardcore PvP guilds out there, Death and Taxes, Anthem, stuff like that, are touting it as one of the best PvP games of all time.
I didn't do any PvP yet. I did some dungeons, which I really like. Like, the mechanics with the targeting system is really cool because I can do some really neat things with the bosses. A lot of people complain that it's too easy, but I don't think those people have gone into dungeons yet. 'Cause that shit's difficult.
And here's the thing: the people who did make it to all right, so in the beta, the entire game was there. People made it to endgame.
Yeah.
Hardcore, like Death and Taxes and such, made it to endgame. Could not beat it. could not beat it because it's hard, and it's not anally hard like WoW was back when it first came out, where mechanics just didn't work, and it's difficult.
Their execution is really well done. Like the art, I really like the art style too because it's a more timeless art style.
Yes.
Like you can,
in the game, it doesn't. One of the awesome things about the game is it doesn't take itself serious. It doesn't take itself serious.
Yeah, it's really funny and goofy.
I really enjoyed the character creator, the little bit of the beta that I played.
Oh yeah, you played that weird robot class where you had the mouth.
I picked like the space elf, and I was like, I want to make this dude as much like necro cyborg looking as I can.
I played the big rock people. I thought they were really cool.
If anybody knows me at all, of course I played the tiny midget furry thing.
Yep.
Oh, the Chew from the
Chua. Which I think
you're the one who's like telling me
like to sing.
I really want to name him. I want to name him Cabra, so they can be like, "Hey, it's a Chewabacca."
I'm gonna name mine Baka, so I'll have a Chewbacca.
Chewbacca. Yeah. You can make a brown one. Yeah. But it's one of those things that they were really smart in the way they did it. So there's multiple healing classes, multiple tanking classes, multiple DPS classes,
and a lot of classes.
So this is all the Morpher?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Now I can contribute.
Yeah. Almost all the classes have multiple.
And they took elements from a lot of games. One of the things they were very careful to do. You cannot direct compare any of the classes to any classes in any other MMO. They're hybrids.
They're very different. Yeah,
so like if you were playing a what they call Stalker, I believe, in WildStar, everyone's like, oh, it's a rogue. It's not. It's more like a rogue meets feral druid if you wanted to compare it to WoW. You know, there's elements of both in there.
I guess I could say feral druid. I'd say more rogue warrior, but yeah, feral druid works.
Because
they can tank as well,
right? And then the way they did the healing, instead of it being targeted healing, it's area healing.
Yeah. So people can run into it.
People can actually run out of it or run into it.
So there's no direct healing in the game. It's all
there are a few direct. There's like one or two direct healing skills, but most of the principle of your attacks are off these area of effect things. So when you start your attack, you get a cone or a box or a circle or a wave of things, and you see it on the field, right? And you can see your enemies as well, and that's how you dodge out of attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's going to become a giant lag bomb.
It's not.
They did it really well.
The packets they send for they're
I didn't lag once in the beta, which was really impressive for any beta of any MMORPG.
Any beta period. That involves online traffic.
And they've even gone now to alter it a little bit so that like ongoing healing you drop on the ground, instead of being a static box, actually looks like a wave format.
Yeah.
So you can see it pulsing on the ground, so people can tell where it's at.
That's totally healing. I'm going to get to that.
Word.
So it seems like it's going to be really well done.
PvP, you can actually backpedal. Backpedaling is a valid function in PvP now.
Okay.
Whereas in any other game, you had to learn to. What's that?
Guess I've never tried that in real life.
Well, because you Humpty Dumpty.
How much PvP?
I certainly would.
How much PvP have you gotten into in real life?
Minimal.
We'll start right now.
Yeah. They've done a lot of upgrades.
Come at me, bro.
I PvP'd a bit when I was in high school, college. But
I think we all did.
Yeah.
At least I did.
Yeah, hey, I got here a piece of rebar to my neck. But
baseball bat right here.
Yeah, most games you had to learn to whip your camera to back out of things,
Yeah, so
you're constantly moving forward.
But you move rough, like it's not like half speed or quarter speed. It's a little more than half speed. You move backwards, which is fine. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so they left it so you could just
anatomically correct.
Yeah, they left it so you could basically the two are anatomically correct also.
In what way?
Well, squirrel penises.
Oh my!
No, what? No,
flapping in the breeze? Just
don't do that.
They wear pants.
Oh,
but look, I really like that they take a lot of the currently successful MMOs, like some of the really good ideas out of them. Like they take the questing and stuff like that is kind of a mix between WoW and Guild Wars 2, where you have area quests and stuff like that.
Let's say it's WoW, Guild Wars 2, and Warhammer Online.
Yeah.
If you want to look at it.
Warhammer Online, I don't know if I would count that as a successful MMO.
I wouldn't, but it had elements people loved.
Yeah,
The open questing system
was really cool.
Was really cool. Where they're fighting a big monster, you run up.
Yeah.
A lot of their
shared loot tables too. Like if you contribute to a kill, you don't lose that loot. You get loot as well.
That's
so unlike Elder Scrolls Online. Fucking Elder Scrolls Online.
I finally canceled my subscription to that.
It was so it's got so much potential, which really bothers me because it does, because it's got a lot going for it. It just does it poorly.
Part of what drove me nuts is maybe I'm a dork. I really like quest hubs, and not having to fucking run across half the continent and hope to God you stumbled across the woman who'd just been raped by a lizard and go, "Let me help you."
That's oddly specific, but Honestly,
It's in the
was a
game.
thing in the game, yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I think
Maybe not raped, but she was totally messed up by some lizard people. They were actually lizard people.
My biggest thing with that was with the Elder Scrolls lore, and as much as it would be fun to have a multiplayer Elder Scrolls game, I always wanted it on a smaller scale. I always wanted to do it with like
4 or 5 people.
yeah, four player
And like a
co-op.
Skyrim type thing.
Magic meets Skyrim.
Be like,
So,
hey, you guys are the group going in to save the world, just like all the rest of the Elder Scrolls game, where it's like,
really
you
want
happen
their-
to be the guy who is,
Right.
you know,
I really want their
that-
Fallout MMO that they keep teasing and
Teasing
stuff like that.
and putting off Fallout 4.
I really want it to be like a 4-player thing like that. I hope that's their next step in their devolution.
Yeah, I'd say-
we tried this big MMO thing. It's clearly floundering really hard. Hopefully they go to smaller co-op.
There's room on the market for it. It's just not. I don't think it needs to be as prevalent. Multiplayer is great. Co-op is great, but I generally just want to play with my group of friends, not
exactly.
in a world full
Or
of
maybe
people.
I can jump online and play with some random
Unless
people.
you come up with a world full of an MMO that is based around the world full of people matter and are doing other things, not the same thing you're doing over and over again, just going with quests.
You know, I'm kind of stealing from somebody else on this, but I think what made a lot of the Elder Scroll games really fun was the fact that, you know, it's a big open world, and from everything that I've read and all the stuff I've seen, they kind of thinned everything out. I mean, they've got a lot of areas, but none of them feel deep. Or
Like
none
in
of them feel
Skyrim?
very rich. Yeah.
Skyrim, I disagree. Skyrim, everything, like, there was a lot of open space, I'll admit that, but,
And it was
like,
packed.
I mean, but there was a lot to do in Skyrim. Like, I
Absolutely.
still play Skyrim. I've got,
Yeah.
like,
And
500 hours, but, like, ESO, you're right, like, there's not a lot in each area. There's a lot, it's a walking simulator at some points, you know? I feel like I'm playing DayZ sometimes, because I'm just walking, I don't see enemies, I don't see people for miles. Oh, look, a sky shard, yay! Interaction!
Well, right, which is kind of slightly the opposite of what we've had with other Elder Scrolls games, especially Skyrim, the one that's still in everyone's
It is
mind.
a decent fantasy MMO. It flounders a lot on stuff, and it's got a lot of bugs. Like, for the first, I don't know, month it was out, I think, there was a progression-breaking bug, where if you got that bug, you literally could not progress anymore. You were just stuck, and it took them almost a month to fix it. And I was like, alright, I'm out, that's it. Like,
Bethesda's known for making really, really good games, and they're also known for having a lot of bugs.
but the good thing about non-MMO games is you can mod those and fix those.
Exactly.
Like, but you can't mod an MMO.
No,
Well,
you
to
can't.
what extent?
Well,
Well,
not
you can't.
responsibly.
You can't. Bethesda. Well, yeah, sure.
Not responsibly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the nice things about WildStar. They did from the very beginning say, "Hey, here's all the Lua files. Here's the development tools we're using."
Yeah. They took a lot of input from
Doesn't
the
that one
community.
just have a straight up option? I mean, I know some other MMOs have done that as well, but I remember in the beta just having an option to go, here's all your interface stuff. You can scoot it around wherever you want.
It does.
Yeah, they pulled that really heavy from Guild Wars because Guild Wars used to let you do that.
And then they also said, "Hey, if you want to make your add-ons and replace our UI completely,
Yep, they're completely
cool with
okay
it."
with it.
Yeah.
Like, but if you
Whatever
break
you
it, it's your
wanna
problem.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people right now are not using too many add-ons. I've watched some streamers. Problem being that they're getting some errors, some lag generated from the UI right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that kind of stuff.
We'll see it
smooth
fixed
out.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
The housing system's gonna be
So,
awesome.
technically.
Yeah, it wasn't in the beta though.
No, it's not. But what they're promising is, and the dev said, they can't promise anything as grand as Star Wars Galaxies, which, if you played MMOs, that's kind of the hallmark of housing in Star Wars Galaxies. You went out, you dropped your house, you built it, you decorated it however you wanted. And then you have EverQuest, which has kind of, become the standard, which is really shitty.
Yeah.
They said it's going to be better than that.
Well, I've never
The
played
original EverQuest
Housing
was really
EverQuest.
good, but EverQuest 2 was awful.
But the idea is basically every element of your home you're able to design, decorate, change, do whatever you want.
Supposedly, we'll see how it executes because I haven't seen it yet. But so far, WildStar, I feel good about it. Like all the stuff that they've promised, pretty much they've come through on for the most part. So
Right.
And there's no other big MMO coming out anytime soon, right?
You have to very well time those
that I
so that
can
they can
think.
be individually mauled
Exactly.
by one of
Well, yeah.
Warcraft.
Well, there's
So-
a specific community of gamers who try MMOs,
yeah.
and they will move to whatever the new thing is. Like,
for about
that's-
2-3 months. And then we'll
but still, that makes it
mainline that Blizzard right into their veins.
Well, I mean, so if you're looking at WoW, it's not that it's anything.
it's a social experience.
It's not, but it's not anything that was amazing.
No,
It's
it
not
was
even the
it was
thing
the-
that it was.
it was a new
perfect,
thing at the right
storm,
time.
right? It was a
Yeah.
perfect storm.
Yeah.
It was a great IPO.
Right? Yeah.
What's just going to happen is eventually, like, I don't know, at this point, though, with WoW being what WoW is, because there's so many players on it, that people will play it, even if they don't enjoy playing it, they'll play it to play with their friends, because everybody's on WoW.
yeah.
But
That
we're
was my
gonna
last year of WoW.
we're gonna see a big return to it with Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah, my problem with Warlords of Draenor is that they're updating the character models, right? But they're not doing the environments, right? So they've got these really nice characters in like the shitty starting level environments, and it looks like I can't imagine that in my head.
I mean, Cataclysm already updated the environment some.
It did,
It changed,
but
yeah.
honestly, I saw a pretty good post on Reddit the other day, and it was a picture of what WoW looked like in 2004. It was a Tauren. I think he was in the Barrens looking in the plains, and you could tell the difference noticeably between WoW of 2004 and WoW of 2014. The Tauren did not look at all boxy, had very defined features. You could see his hair. Every strain of grass could be seen. Not quite
I haven't been on
crisis
WoW
good,
since
Yeah, I haven't.
the burning itch, so
but the burning
Yeah.
itch.
so
think
maybe
you
Should
that's
see
my
a doctor
problem.
about that.
I was in that habit for a while too. Of any time the new expansion came out, I'd go and I'd play for a month and then stop.
I got back into it with the pandas, and part of that is
That's the first time I stopped.
part of that is
hated.
I
I've always
liked
loved
it.
the Pandorans.
I liked it.
that's
I don't care about that part of it. Honestly, the Lord can go F itself. But they were very well done models, and there were things that were fun about them. Like when they sat down, they plopped instead of some weird ass mechanical.
That was also the expansion that added the Goblin City, right?
No,
No, that was
No,
one before.
that was
that one before?
because they got the goblins
Cataclysm.
and Alliance
Was it?
got
Okay.
Worgans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worgen Freeman.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Working for him.
I think that was the last time I played because I created a Goblin.
Dude, if you
character
want to
because-
capitalize off the Twilight thing, capitalize off the Twilight thing. You're making money.
I think that was.
But
Wasn't that like pretty before Twilight? Or was it around the same time?
It honestly coincided a fair bit.
Probably it's probably.
I don't know
World of
why they
Warcraft-
need to capitalize off that.
World of Warcraft's gonna.
It's gonna be around for a long time.
Nothing is gonna kill. There's not gonna be a WoW killer except
Yeah.
for WoW.
Yeah, I was
WoW will eventually
except
kill itself.
Whatever Blizzard
like the
puts out
human race,
next.
it'll collapse on top of
They're-
itself.
I mean, they keep saying Titan, but then they keep saying, "Hey, we're not doing it right now. We're not doing it right now."
Well,
we're not
it's
doing it
it's
right now."
it's also that they keep saying, yeah.
In case you're wondering, that is actually the sound of Bracy's and my bowels fighting each other for world domination.
And honestly, it's going to be an intense fight.
Yeah.
I'm a little short-handed, but
Yeah. I think the thing with
That's
Blizzard
a joke that
too-
will need to be explained at a later date.
Yeah. No.
I'm clearly
cripple.
Just let it go. Just let it go. I think the thing with Blizzard is, yeah, it's going to be whatever Project Titan is, but and yeah, they keep saying, oh, you know, it's getting pushed back, it's being reworked. I think that's the big thing with that is
I've heard like
It's
3
Blizzard.
times
Yeah,
that
it's
they've
been-
canceled
it's
it
been
and
sc-
restarted
it's-
it.
It's going to be StarCraft Go.
scrapped. No,
I would actually be okay with that.
something
if
they
I
had
wanted-
to.
don't play with my heart like that.
Something they announced 9 years ago, and then
Whatever, Duke Nukem.
It was it 9 years ago?
Yeah,
No,
I have to
don't
imagine
you
it was
jinx
longer.
StarCraft Go.
I don't- you'd have to Google
It's
it.
like,
forever.
like,
Don't you dare.
no. As far as other big MMOs coming up, Arcade when it comes is going to be
A
monsters.
lot of people are super into that.
Well,
already.
because it's they were like, hey, look, straight up sandbox. We don't give a flying.
and the classes
Don't hurt
is
her
really
like you
cool
do.
because you can swap out for any of the other classes. You have 2 classes at any time with 3 trees.
3. You pick a soul to start off with. It's kind of rifty in that manner.
Yeah.
And then as you progress, you pick additional souls to merge into it, and this becomes your overall character class.
And you can switch that out at any time.
And there's when you add it all up, there's somewhere around like 7,800 different combinations for classes.
I don't know if it's that many, but there's a lot.
Well, what you got? 17 to 3 times.
I don't know. I haven't
a lot.
played it.
Yeah. It's a lot. So
Yeah.
MMOs.
And then there's what's that one? Golden Oil or something like that? Golden Dust. It's
Oh, that weird
steampunk.
Oh no,
MMO.
there's this other anime-esque one that's coming out that's Korean.
Oh, that with a crazy.
yeah, it's
character.
like Black Rose or something
It's-
like that.
Yeah, it's something like Black Desert or.
Yeah, but it's
Blue
really, really, really pretty and
Yeah,
really
oh,
well
man, yeah.
animated, and it runs really smooth. At least in the beta that I played. Of course, I couldn't do much because I don't speak Korean,
right.
and it was in Korean.
You should work on that.
Yeah.
No, the steampunk one is it's 2 factions: fantasy versus steampunk, and
it's Black Desert, by the way.
it's made by the guys I think who
Soundtrack by
did
Steam.
Wushu Online. So
That was
unfortunately,
that
it's
had a
gonna
really big community for a long time.
unfortunately it's gonna get pay to win.
Yeah, which
Wushu
I'm not,
became very
eventually not playing. That
But another thing that's interesting with MMOs is we do have the action MMO market that's really strong right now too, with Diablo 3, Loop 2.0 patch, and the expansion. Marvel.
You really call Diablo 3 an MMO?
Well,
massively multiplayer online. I would definitely call it
not
MMO.
MMORPG necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a role playing game, but they call it a MMOA, massively multiplayer online action game. MMOA.
Yeah, I guess MMOA.
That just wants people to be drunk.
That's a mimosa.
I know.
Okay. But and then you have Marvel. It's doing pretty well for itself.
That recently came out with a new update, right?
Right. Well,
it's renovated
coming.
everything.
This week is its 1 year anniversary, right?
Yeah, I think they were trying to coincide with their their big thing once they
and then
do that.
Eve is releasing its next stupid thing.
Yeah, no, stop it, Eve. Just give it up, dude. Like I know there's a big community.
Why give it up?
700,000
you have so many people.
So
just
bad.
in case
I don't know
you
why
want to
they
be an
enjoy
account.
it.
Because they've been there since day one.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's like, hey guys, there's 4 of us. Let's make some characters and go play. Okay, 15 seconds to the game. Oh look, gang rape. We're all dead.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah.
You guys want to make some new characters?
I mean, it's because people have very elaborate, long-going systems in that game where they've literally built digital corporations.
There was this story a little while ago where this group of players were hunting this ship, right? And the ship is like worth 3,000 real-world dollars, and the person who had it, because apparently there's only like 1 or 2 of them in the world or something like that, hadn't logged on to that account in 2 years, but they stalked him on like all his other stuff, for like a year or something like that. They just watched and stalked this guy, and the second he logs onto this account, they're all there and they destroy him and take his ship. And they were like, I was like, that's serial killer crazy. Like, that is insane dedication. I'm not that dedicated to anything.
All right, well, you have to
I'm
be.
reasonably certain that person can file a complaint with the FBI. It is that kind of stalking that should be illegal.
Yeah. Like Eve is to the level. I mean, people love the game or they hate it. There's no middle ground.
I hate it.
But it's
when
to
you're
the
a space accountant, that's what it is. You either really like space accounting or you.
And it's to that level that when you make your corporation, you have to have somebody in every time zone on Earth playing.
Yes.
So that someone can be online 24 hours a day. And there are guys.
Business needs.
There are guys in Korea and Sweden and France who are making a living playing this game because they run virtual corporations. That's effing nuts.
The capitalist in me think this is a great idea, but I still don't want to be a space accountant. I would much rather be Commander Shepard.
You'd rather be a space shepherd?
Commander Shepard.
Oh, he's a space shepherd.
The Shepherd.
Cool.
I just, I've looked at, all the screenshots, I've read the reviews,
I tried it. I tried the game. I couldn't get into it. It was kind of like Star Trek Online. I tried playing.
That shouldn't have been a thing.
Well, it's gotten better.
It's gotten much better, but the problem is how limited the engine was for space combat and things.
It's gotten better on that aspect too. It's still horrible.
It's gotten better, but it's also still I can't you are set within a plane.
Certain
you can't pitch completely up and then flip over. You can't you don't have true 3-dimensional movement.
Right.
And I mean I understand that for their limitations of their game, that's what they wanted to set up, but I wanted a starship simulator where I could, do that. And
Star Citizen's coming.
So
it's true. There are things like that.
Is get the people that make War Thunder to just reskin everything with Star Trek skins and call it a day. Because they made it honestly pretty decent.
No, I did not play Galaxy because at the time I did not have.
I'm probably wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that when Jump to Lightspeed came out for Star Wars Galaxies, you had complete 3D control of your ship. You could rotate.
I think so. I think that's.
I remember a lot of our guild went to just doing space stuff because it was different. We've all been playing the game for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, but I am excited about stuff like Star Citizen or something. I haven't put any money into it, but I didn't need to.
$45 million. The largest crowdfunding thing.
Yeah.
History.
And that's for crowdfunding, and that's great. And
They better not just...
$4 million?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, LeVar Burton got like what 2.7 in a day or
In a
whatever
day, yeah.
to do Reading Rainbow again,
Which is awesome.
Our childhood.
LeVar Burton got
only got $3 million,
$1.2 million in the first day.
Yeah.
And now they put out stretch goals for...
They're still, yeah.
Other than-
Getting it out on consoles because
your phone.
They have well, they already have an app, I think. But yeah, they're expanding that out. They want to put it on the next gen consoles. They want expanded stuff for PC.
I
and
think
things like
part
that.
of that's LeVar Burton reaching out, wanting to do good stuff, and I think
And that's great.
I think part of it's also him not wanting a regular job
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So,
because he's been on
Can you blame him?
television since he was,
didn't Reading
Toby.
Rainbow like stop on television in like 2009? So I mean, it was,
No, might have been a
was
little
before that.
might have been a little prior to that.
excuse me while I Wikipedia this.
It stopped during next gen, didn't it?
no, I think it went well past that.
Okay.
I don't know to what extent, but I'm pretty sure it had some sort of presence up until around 2000.
I just remember an episode of Reading Rainbow where they went on board the Enterprise
Yeah.
because he could do
Because
that.
why not?
Yeah, be like, I just call up Captain Picard and go, hey, can I bring some kids on board? And Captain Picard goes, nope,
I hate kids.
hey kids.
He does
But,
have a problem with children.
At some point when we talk more about MMOs,
2006.
we should talk
2006.
about why no one's done a zombie versus human MMO. It's a big
That's a
thing.
that's a whole cast in itself because we can talk about that for hours.
Yeah, we could. We're
Right.
not
That's what I said. At some point in the future, because
Yeah.
it's there. It's a viable market if done right.
Yeah.
Well, the market's there. It's a viable game if done right.
Yes, but I still think it.
Well, that's why they're
maybe
trying
time
stuff
to
like DayZ, which doesn't work in my opinion, because and then like
Because
H1Z1
well,
looks
even-
really
yeah.
good. So that looks like it might be what you're kind of looking for, except it's not an MMO per se. It's more like a server of 30 people or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't remember there was a cap, but essentially, my problem with DayZ is
You could hack
zombies.
it if you're a 3-year-old with a cracker.
That too.
Yes.
Also, it's the zombies aren't dangerous in that anymore. Like they're not a threat. You just walk away from them. There's no point. So essentially, they could just take out the zombies and have no problem. And then beyond that, the action in between the walking, like you don't do anything while you're just wandering around the world. Like you just walk for an hour before you see anybody, and then you get shot because you walked into Barracino and you're dead now.
It's based off of Arma too.
I know, which is a walking simulator.
Wow.
And you know what? I actually like DayZ because I didn't play with a whole lot of people, so I didn't get gifted. Here's some stuff when I got in. So the beginning was intense, and it was difficult to find things.
Yeah.
And people would not cooperate with you
Yeah.
because they did not know you.
Yeah. No,
It
that's-
was
That's still
that was my
borderline
experience
real
with-
life.
Like, one of my favorite memories-
I don't speak Russian. So.
Yeah, one of my favorite memories from the DayZ mod before it became a standalone thing was like trying to figure out vehicles and being like, okay, there's parts of vehicles, and I think you can repair a vehicle, and you can luck out and find something. But I was walking around one time and I came across a bicycle
Nice.
in working condition, and I was like, this is the best thing because I can go faster than anybody on foot. I can go faster than the zombies.
And you're super
And you're
obvious
quiet.
and you get shot.
But
It's
you're
quiet.
Ring, ring,
True,
ring, ring.
but you're
Wait,
quiet.
does it have a bell?
You
That's
can,
I don't remember.
I don't remember. You know,
That would be entirely.
it was just great. It didn't require fuel. I think if you had to repair it, I don't think I ever got that far with it. You didn't have to worry about heavy repairs or something like that. It was a really interesting idea at a time where the zombie stuff was pretty big. But yeah, I don't see myself getting into the standalone version of it.
Well, the standalone version would just kind of be like extremely punishing Minecraft, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But there are stuff that I'm interested in. Like the idea behind Rust was interesting, but then it comes down to the human element. You know,
People
somebody.
are such dicks and
What was the game that did it before
People in
Rust?
general are just.
Did what?
There was another post-apocalyptic Earth where, like, literally, if you just wanted to,
There was an MMO.
Fallout?
Fallen Earth.
Fallen Earth.
Yeah, Fallen
If
Earth.
you just wanted to spend your entire time being a sheep farmer
you
and
could be
making guns, you could do that.
Yeah, which was really cool. But for I like the survival games. It's the human element sometimes gets in the way.
Yeah.
And especially like with Rust, my big problem with that is, as a new player, you could come in, you'd be literally in that game completely naked, and you'd have to go from there. And there is a game to that, and I think that was really interesting. The problem is that you get in, you'd spend 10 minutes going around, you'd bump into somebody who's been playing for 2 or 3 hours. Somehow they've already built themselves a shotgun out of sticks and stones, and then they'd shoot you.
Sometimes literally.
Yeah.
That's how the Native Americans did it.
Then they'd shoot you, and it'd be like, well, dude,
why we won.
I've been walking around for 10 minutes. I have a stick and a rag that I made a torch out of. Why are you robbing me? I really do want to try the new one that's just come out in early access on Steam.
Stomping Grounds? Yeah, that looks really good.
You're sitting there playing and
you start with weapons in that one.
I think so. You're going around, you're fighting dinosaurs, you're capturing dinosaurs and doing that stuff. But it does seem to have the same issue with the human element. Like there is comp.
I don't think it's as big. Like I don't think there's going to be as many people per server.
Well, yeah, but it's
which is the big problem with Rust.
Well, Rust isn't even that big. It's still like 30, 40 people per server, right? Like
I thought it was like 60.
I don't know. I mean, even that.
And the world was smaller in Rust. Like I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure. I don't know how big the world Stomping Ground is.
Stomping Ground is the one with the dinosaurs.
Yeah. You're on a. I don't know if it's an island or you're just in a land with dinosaurs.
You have to like raise dinosaurs or something.
Well,
mostly it's hunting. Capturing,
you're hunting. It's seems to be a bit like a Monster Hunter, where like you're eventually taking
impossible creatures,
and taking out these big creatures with really small weapons over a slow period of time.
So you use traps.
Then you harvest them, you get better armor, you get stuff, and then eventually, you'll get to the point where you can actually capture a rideable one, use that to help you in combat.
Didn't I see that they confirmed that you can eventually capture and ride a T-Rex?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
I felt like
that would be
don't
great.
need to open doors.
Well,
yeah.
Yes, small arm syndrome. Yeah.
But I like the idea of survival games. I just, for the most part, again, I don't need it to be a 30, 40 person server. Like, I'm okay with the idea of other people being there, but
I don't need 15 people with the environment actually being deadly.
Maybe. I would like something even to the effect of like Journey. Where
2 people?
Yeah, something like that, where literally like you're put into a world, you're told just to survive. You go around.
Oh, so you mean like a co-op survival game?
Kind of, yeah. But you do a situation where you're out there, and then it intelligently puts people near you, but you're not going to run into a lot of people, and you come across somebody, and then it's immediately not like, hey, there's going to be a bunch of other people, so I can just fight you. And it's like, hey, look, we're the only 2 people here. We need to cooperate to get anywhere in this game.
I don't know how that would work technologically.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking like Stomping Grounds, to my understanding, like if you're going to take down some of these bigger dinosaurs, you have to work together. Yeah. Like, I don't think you can do it on your own. So I want the game to be survival against something. You do a zombie idea, you want the humans to band together against the zombies, not to get into this.
The problem with that, no matter what, like even if it was real world, is people are gonna kill other people for what they've got. Like,
sure,
especially if it's a real world.
But that's why I want to take the number of humans down in that,
so that you could have enough to share. Yeah, I think a co-op survival game would be cool. Like just like a group of 5 people going out and doing stuff.
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea, but the problem I have with that, and it's not that I'm opposed to co-op games in the slightest, I love co-op games, but when you have 5 people, everyone here knows 5 people that will probably play a game with them, and that honestly takes a lot of the competitive edge that could come out of that game.
Well, that's what he's saying. He doesn't want that edge. He wants just survive against the world.
But that's not quite as fun because, well, in my opinion, because it's not just about the dinosaurs. There's going to be competing tribes. And the zombie thing, it's not just you and your buddies. There's other people out there.
Like I like that more. It's his.
I mean, it's what he wanted. You could also do something evolving. Let's do something where it intelligently puts you together. You drop into the world in a survival game, and you don't have to worry about somebody who's been playing on the same server.
Yeah, like you get a little bit of time
for hours and hours. You drop in,
period.
You're in with 5 people.
That's kind of what those the tactical games do, like through Facebook and other crap, where you start your little kingdom and you have to go harvest 15 trees and stuff. You have like a 9-day grace period before anyone can attack you.
Yeah, kind of. But I don't want to like give it a. Well, I mean, I guess I am, but I'm not saying like this is just you have 9 days to do whatever you want. I want a game where you start off, you're surviving. If you want to, you can survive by yourself and you'll be just fine. Or you have a couple other people who you bump into, and then you can decide maybe to band together, do some stuff together, and maybe even make it permanent, set up some sort of village or something, start building up. And once you get to that point, you hit certain milestones that then starts opening up to connections to other servers or other worlds. Where then, okay, now we can now scout far enough.
It's not technologically difficult.
Yeah.
If you think about it, all right, so one idea would be archipelagos, right? So you have a whole bunch of islands out there.
Yeah.
And so you and 4 other players are put on an island.
Yeah.
Hash it out. You're going to cooperate, or you're going to kill each other, and there's going to be one person left on the island.
Who's left? Yeah,
right.
is going
to go off.
So he's going to have to build the canoe technology.
Exactly. And so once you go, and you're on your own server shard. So once you go to another island, you now have 2 server shards that can
connect to each other.
They can connect, so on and so forth.
And you put elements in there where you want somebody.
Something else would be really awesome would be a penal colony game. So imagine a prison planet where we jettison you from space to the prison planet. So when you hit ground, because we can't sentence you to death, we're not going to drop you near people. We're going to drop you away from them. So we put you in a pod, we shoot you at the ground, you land, you have enough water and food for 3 days, and you have whatever you can pull out of this pod. You're 15 kilometers from the nearest person, so that gives you a little bit of time to get your wits about you, but if you don't, then people who have built up are going to come get you. It's the same base idea, but it allows an environment where you can keep dropping new players into a world that's already existent without the worry that they're going to get stomped on. Now, of course, the planet has to become infinitely big, but who cares?
Yeah, but if it's a server or whatever, you can do that kind of thing. I think that just gets to my biggest problem with those survival games is I want to be able to sit and survive, do what I want to do. I think that's part of the appeal of Minecraft is...
Minecraft. Did you play Worm Online?
No, I didn't.
So Worm Online is a first-person perspective MMO. It's really annoying in that fact. But you basically, the gods go, hey, you died, we've brought you to this world, we're giving you a chance to survive. I think this is Worm Online, I could be lying about the name. But plop, here you are. So they're like, you're out in the middle of nowhere, and you have like a skinning knife on you, or the equivalent thereof. Go. And so you get to the point where you can chop down trees, alter the terrain by digging and padding it up. I mean, there are people on there who have built entire cities, but when the game started, there were no cities, there were no buildings, there was no nothing.
Yeah.
It's all player built. And so, when you start out, it really is, like, a lot of it is hiding from other players at first because you don't know what they're going to do to you. It's going up to farmhouses and hoping you can either rob them or someone there is willing to help you. It's an interesting concept, but it's got a learning curve that's worse than Eve.
I think my other big thing is survival games that fail on the actual survival thing, fail on the
you don't need
limited
to eat or drink.
Well,
or anything like
not only that, it's more the limited availability of items. There are some
survival.
Yeah, no, I know, but there aren't a lot of games that actually do that. Like,
oh, you mean they flood the world with a lot of
items? Not even flood the world, but make it way too easy to get stuff. So like stuff with like Rust. I haven't played a lot of Rust, so I can't speak exactly. But it seems to me if you're in a place where you start off with absolutely nothing and you're just sticks and stones, there's no way you should be able to build a complex thing like a shotgun or something or an assault rifle. It makes no sense. A bow and arrow, sure, but you should be able to put together a bow and arrow and have limited amount of arrows, so that you actually have. So even though this bow and arrow gives you a massive,
stick, that's a walnut stock and iron fittings.
This gives you a massive bonus or massive advantage over other players. You still have like, I have 5 arrows. I put this bow together. I made 5 arrows. I have a huge advantage over that naked guy because he's got nothing, but I've only got 5 arrows.
Is it worth my time?
Yeah, is it worth my time and my resources to kill this guy, potentially breaking an arrow to kill a guy who's got nothing?
Ever pull an arrow out of a guy?
No, I haven't.
It's not potentially.
Ever put an arrow into somebody?
Not on purpose.
There you go.
Cut it out.
But it's also like, I think that changes the
you
way
break it.
You also cut it out. Cut the chunk of.
So this has been our hour-long MMO section.
Yeah, that's fine. It changes the way that the game dynamic works, though, where you don't have the players who have the resources now going down and hunting the new players because I have more weapons than you, screw you. It now goes, I have resources, I want to protect them. I'm not going to risk attacking this person who has nothing for no reason. I'm only going to attack them if they're trying to now steal from me or something like that, which is how those dynamics should go.
It also brings up an interesting point where players become a resource in themselves. If you need players to be guards or farm or whatever.
It looks like H1Z1 is going to do that too.
I hope it does. I hope, like that's how those things should go together. It's like, look, I spent a bunch of time. I got lucky. I got 20 cans of corn, but shit, I can't.
Oh shit! Right for
there is a browser based MMO zombie survival that does exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
So each day you can only take a certain number of movements.
Yeah,
and it's
that
on
sounds awful already.
It's on a hex grid or a square grid.
Is it?
So you can go out and explore. So you have to elect people to go out and explore, like people to stay behind, build walls.
I know what you're talking about. I think I have a downloaded version of that.
I have the distinct feeling
Rebuild
that for
sound familiar.
For an additional $1.99, you can recharge your moves.
No, there was
nothing
like that.
Yeah, this sounds exactly what you're talking about, and it wasn't a.
Does this server wipe?
I don't know.
The one I'm talking about every 35 days server wipes.
It might I think this is an endpoint. Yeah, I think this just has an endpoint. I don't think this isn't a multiplayer thing.
Yeah, no. This is literally all you see on your map is white blocks, and they'll have.
I have played that.
They'll have an icon in them if something's there, but you could it's like oh no, zombies. So you're like, okay, cool. We need to go out and try and find food. So you need to go out 2 blocks and scavenge. Unfortunately, all right, we know there's stuff out there, so we're going to go ahead and send you with a rifle and 4 bullets. That's all we can spare.
Yep.
So you get out there, and all of a sudden there's 6 zombies, and you're like, run away. You get back, you have no energy for the rest of the day, and you accomplished absolutely nothing.
Yep. Yeah, it's a very similar concept to something like this. This just happens to be a single-player, Flash-based thing that kind of popped up at some point. And I like that kind of idea, too. It's just... I understand there's also a certain balance when you're a developer putting something together like that where you have to consider player fun, and there's some players who are going to get frustrated with that kind of stuff. It just sucks that, a lot of times you have to make those considerations to broaden your audience as opposed to building the game for the audience that actually enjoys that kind of game.
I mean, you can tailor make a game for 4 people, but, 60 times 4 is not a lot of money.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and that's the problem with that, but... From a business standpoint, it makes sense. I get that. So,
WatchDogs came out last week.
Yeah. No,
Did you hear that Glenn Beck said WatchDogs was teaching children to hack?
Yep.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, all the time. That's all I do now is I walk down the street and I have my phone out and I just push X on my phone and I've instantly stolen $500 from everybody's bank account.
I was blown away. And then I started looking at more stuff. He says that the 2011 shooting in Norway, I think it was because kids learned how to shoot people from Call of Duty.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, Glenn Beck, I hope 1,000 deadly rhinos.
That's been one of those things for a while where video games teach you.
That was inaccurately descriptive.
Yeah.
Well, it's very
I meant to
easy
say scorpions.
Yeah, it's very easy for someone in a position on television media to blame violent movies or violent video games or whatever, because it's not their medium that's teaching them this.
Yes.
But, it's someone to blame, and it takes the responsible people out of the equation. It takes the parents out of the equation.
Exactly,
it takes the person out of the equation. And therefore, it's non-offensive, but it looks compelling.
I will not lie that alright, so there's a developmental stage that children go through where they should not be playing violent video games. That's why we have the rating systems. That's why they're there, so that parents can make informed decisions.
And that's what it
they
should
don't.
be about.
Parents just crack under pressure. So
that was one of my favorite bits of one of Penn and Teller's shows.
On one of their episodes of bullshit.
Yeah, one of their episodes of bullshit. They took some kid who played nothing but Call of Duty and stuff, and took him to a gun range and handed him a gun, and within seconds the kid was just crying.
He shot one round. They had a former Marine guy training him so he would do it safely and know how to do it right.
And
one round and he was bawling.
Yeah. And I mean it's
small sample size.
Exactly. It's one particular instance, but being people who play video games and understand that kind of thing, it's so ridiculous that not only is somebody like Glenn Beck, saying these things, who presumably is a relatively intelligent person, presumably.
He very well.
He also-
He might be in his topics that he understands,
yeah.
but he knows shit
He
about
also
media.
the problem is he also has such a large audience
Yeah.
that there are
Yeah.
other people who
So,
have
like, they're
absolutely
sheep,
no
you know?
connection whatsoever.
It's probably a.
If you
bit
can't formulate
much.
your own opinion and you just go off of what one person tells you, you're a sheep.
I'm pretty sure they listen to more than just Glenn Beck. I'm sure.
I'm sorry,
there's-
they listen to Glenn Beck and Rush Limbaugh,
And-
they're sheep.
So again, yeah, you are. I agree with you that he's working with an audience,
Yeah.
and I would still not necessarily call the man unintelligent.
I didn't say he was unintelligent. I said he's crazy.
Well, a lot of people are. You're crazy. I'm crazy.
Hey, I am slightly off. I'm not crazy.
No,
It's just the whole notion of a video game, those particular types of video games teaching you
yeah.
very specifically
They're very good educational games, too.
how to hack, how to use a gun. There's a game that I have, a little indie game called Receiver.
yeah,
It was built during one of those 48-hour build a game competition things,
Yeah,
and its exact purpose is, look, this is how a gun actually operates. If this is, you have to go through a bunch of steps to get this gun to fire. Whereas in Call of Duty, you push one button, boom, slap the magazine in, that's it. Whereas this, and you're only dealing with handguns too. It might be loaded for you. It might not. The safety might be on or off. You might still have to cock the gun.
That'll teach you how to do it. Good.
Yeah.
But
And
not
it-
something like that.
And I would argue that's still even not really teaching you exactly how to do it. It's giving you a simulation that's very close, and if you pay attention to it, you can probably pick up things. But it's showing you that it's not just a two-step process of reload, gun, fire to
Right.
get a gun going. And yeah, as I said, even that is not going to teach you.
Yeah.
All right, boom, here's a gun, go.
right. Well, honestly, the only thing that Call of Duty has taught me is that you can run through a storm of bullets to knife me once and kill
Yes.
me. That is
Yep.
what Call of Duty
Yep.
has.
All
taught
you got to
me.
do is get a knife in the general vicinity of a person, and
Yeah.
That's become a lot like Battlefield, because Battlefield does that too now. Like, I can knife you and right in front of you and you die immediately.
well, at least Battlefield.
Yes. It's happened dozens of times. I've done it dozens of times.
I
Are
think
you
that's-
getting animation tech down, or are you getting?
Animation takedown.
What? Well, if it's in front of you, you're supposed to be able to counter knife.
You're supposed to, but it doesn't work. Like 90% of the time.
It works sometimes.
I've countered a few people, but there have been times where I've been looking directly at people and go to knife, and they just knife me.
I think that's more of
That's probably the netcode issue.
glitches. Yeah,
Which they're
glitches with the
increasing,
system.
they're fixing soon because they're upping the tick rate to 30 hertz instead of 10 hertz, which is where it should have been back in the first place. But I understand there's a lot going on. 64 people, there's tanks, lots of animations and stuff.
Yeah,
Says game design.
I think it's one of those things where at least I appreciate the fact that whereas Call of Duty is literally slash,
Yeah.
that's it, you drop. Whereas this, it was a
Battlefield,
whole
you're
animation.
supposed to sneak up
Yeah.
on somebody,
You-
tap them on the shoulder.
yeah.
Hey, these are mine now.
Knifing takes it takes a process. If you're going to one hit kill
Yeah, but the
somebody,
process isn't chase somebody for 6 yards like you do.
dude. I have fun doing it. Leave me alone. That's my thing. I
You
don't
gonna play
always-
Hardline?
Yeah,
It's coming
Yeah.
out soon.
That's-
Hope. Well, no, probably not soon because they still got to release the next 2 DLCs.
They say they've been working on it, and it's probably.
I think the gadgets are what's going to sell me because it gives you a whole lot of movement options. It looks like.
Oh, hopefully, yeah.
So-
yeah. I need to see a little.
And
bit
no more
about
tanks.
What they
No,
released. but-
yes, tanks.
No, I'm sick of the tanks. Engineers are so useless.
I like tanks.
Yeah, I know.
That's, thanks for fun.
I like tanks.
I like fish tanks.
I like fish tanks
I like goldfish.
because they're so delicious.
They're not very good, actually.
They're okay.
Do
They actually make a fantastic
yeah.
crust
Do you
for
stun them?
macaroni and
Yeah.
cheese.
Do you
stop
stun them
it, you
first,
big
or do you eat them
fantastic.
while they're still wiggling?
While they're still wiggling.
Ah, see, that's what you're doing wrong. You got to stun them first.
All right. Any last thoughts? We're getting ready to close it out here because we're coming up on an hour.
Well, actually, it looks like we got a couple more
Yeah,
minutes.
there's a couple
but-
more closing
I mean,
things.
we're gonna
we're
close
Well, let's-
off
let's
in
get
an
to what
hour,
your
or we're gonna
closing
switch
things
over
are.
and do some like movies and
Yeah, we can do that too. But I want
Well,
to
we
do it.
can
We're talking about movies. We're going to completely ruin Days of Future Past for Crazy.
Please don't ruin Days of Future Past for me yet.
Okay.
all right. Well, let's go.
We're
See
gonna go
Days of
with-
Future Past. Come back. Finish the podcast.
I'm gonna. All right, I'm gonna cut this part off. On the channel, you have WatchDogs coming, right?
WatchDogs is
WatchDogs
coming.
is coming. I'm doing some Asura's Wrath. We did a couple of. I think I'm gonna call it like the Apology series, where we did a bunch of the games that, you pre-ordered WatchDogs from.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of these games. He pre-ordered WatchDogs from
Green Man Gaming.
and Ubisoft was a stickler about giving the keys out, so they didn't get their keys till very late. And they gave them an apology pack where you get these 4 $10 games for free, and we played 3 of them.
No, two of them.
Two of them. Two of
We
them.
play two of them. We've got the other two. We'll probably play with.
Yeah, we'll probably do those too. So
Do you guys play with each other?
yes,
Oh, yeah.
but not like the way you just insinuated. I've also got. I think I'm gonna have a WatchDogs. Don't touch me. I think I'm gonna have a WatchDogs thing too because I've got a little bit of footage, and then
Yeah, mine's gonna be.
Gunpoint. I'm gonna be doing Gunpoint sometime this week, which I've never played it, and they've told me to play it, so I'm gonna try it out and we'll see how it goes.
Hopefully, I'll jump in on that video because that'll be fun.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, guys.
Play video games.
You too.
Well, excuse us that you have like a life and whatever.
It's not live. It's called work.
I work too.
I work
pretty
two
hard.
jobs, and I still have a chance to play video games.
guys-
on the
He
weekend.
has other hobbies.
You guys make the
work two
mistake.
jobs?
because
Because he's poor. He
I'm
lives in
poor.
Portsmouth.
No, it's you know, it's jobs and moving and having a fiance that lives with you.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
If you could work that out, where she like not live with you,
or ignore it
more time.
If she,
Closing.
if she didn't live
We
with
had
me, my
nothing
house would be
else
so
on the
much
list?
dirtier.
That's true.
It was just
That's-
Wolfenstein.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
we're gonna
know.
close it out here, and then we'll do the
guess.
movie segment, and then we'll see if we can cut it all together. All right.
We'll call it movie segment because I'll probably be like, let's talk about TV and comic books, and we'll only get to one movie or something.
Let's not talk about TV.
All right, YouTube.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. See you next time.
Don't get pregnant.